Let me guess, you're a newbie. What would you say if I told you you probably don't need half of that junk?
Okay. Yeah.
That's right. A lot of newbies buy a whole bunch of stuff when they're just starting out that they don't really need. So watch this video before you go shopping for your new RV life. I'm going to show you 10 things that newbies should never buy and 10 things you should buy instead. What do you think? You want to watch? Come on.
Really? Okay. But I like all this stuff.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to find your own.
Hey friendlies, I'm Carolyn, and this is Sadie, the Border Collie, 54%. And welcome to my life living in an RV for the past 7+ years. I know half the fun of starting anything new, moving into a new place, starting a new adventure, starting a new hobby, half the fun for a lot of us is going out and shopping for all the things that you're gonna need for that hobby or for that new place. But I'm gonna tell you, I've seen so many newbies make the mistake of buying all kinds of things they don't need, wasting a whole bunch of money on the wrong things. I did it myself, and after so long on the road, I've learned a thing or two about what the best things are to have in my RV life. So in today's video, I've got 10 things that newbies should never buy and what you should buy instead. Before we get started, do me a favor, and if you like my content, subscribe to my channel. And even if you think you're subscribed, please do me a favor and double check, because YouTube unsubscribes people all the time. All right, so you ready? Number one thing that newbies should never buy and what to buy instead. RV toilet paper. I've mentioned this in videos before, but I still, every time I go into Camping World, I see people buy RV toilet paper. What is it? $8, $9, $10 for a 4-pack? And you don't need it. I think I bought it the first time because your holding tank is different and you're gonna be worried about clogs and things like that. But other than maybe the first time out in my RV, I have never, ever used RV toilet paper. All you need to do is make sure you get septic safe toilet paper. And as long as you use the tank deodorizers, usually have a chemical in it that also helps dissolve toilet paper. So as long as you get septic safe and as long as you do that, you should be fine. I almost don't want to say it. I've never had a clog in 7+ years. So stop buying the expensive RV toilet paper. Number two, don't buy the cheap sewer hose. I know you're in the store, you've got a whole aisle. I think Camping World has a whole aisle of sewer hoses and you're like scratching your head, which one should I buy? I have probably bought every brand, Camco, Rhino. I've bought every brand over the years. Somebody asked me recently how often I buy a new one, and I probably need to replace mine every couple years because I cram it in my space back there. And it gets, pinhole leaks in it. Sometimes the gaskets fall out and things like that. But you don't want to skimp on the sewer hose. And here's why. When you buy like the cheap Camco, I think it's like 7 or 10 feet. And I've bought that a couple times. The problem is it doesn't have that nice little elbow at the end for sticking in the sewer receptacle at the dump station. And so what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and hold it. Some of them have them, but some of them don't. And that's the important thing. You're going to want that elbow because you can put it in the receptacle and you can usually like put the cover over it to hold it in place. The other thing though, with the really cheap Camco ones, 7 feet is not enough. You've got that accordion thing going on. So I think the one I have now is like, 20 feet? And I was like, when I'm shopping, I'm like, 20 feet, that's way too long. But you would be surprised. There were times when I had the cheap Camco 7 or 10 footer, it didn't reach. You never know what dump station you're going to end up at, how far the receptacle is going to be from where you can pull in, especially if you're in a larger RV, you might be limited. So do yourself a favor and don't skimp. I love my Rhino 25 foot. I think it's 25 foot with the elbow on it. And I've had a couple of those now. I think one fell out of my compartment because it's rusted, but I really like my Rhino one. It's a little bit more money, but to me, it's worth it. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a an Amazon list of everything I'm talking about in this video, everything you should buy, not what you shouldn't buy. So I'll put a link to that in the video description below, and you can shop everything that I'm talking about in this video. Number 3 is that expensive cell phone plan. Unless you're working on the road, and I know a lot of my audience are retirement age, you don't need to spend a ton of money on an expensive cell phone plan with 50, 100, 150 gigs of mobile hotspot. Those of us who are still working on the road are going to need probably all of that mobile hotspot. But for most people, I don't think you're really going to need it, especially if you're going to have an antenna to watch TV or you have some other way to watch TV and you're not going to be streaming videos. So don't spend a lot of money on an expensive cell phone plan. And that's why I'm thrilled to be partnering with Mint Mobile to bring you an affordable cell phone plan. You don't have to spend a ton of money every month to have amazing coverage and unlimited plans. Mint Mobile is built on the nation's largest 5G network, so you don't have to sacrifice coverage to get a better deal on your cell phone plan. And the nice thing about it is you can try it out before you even buy it. So if you're a little concerned that it's not going to work in your area, go ahead and use the link in the video description below to try it out. Test it before you buy it. How great of a deal is that? And also, if you have a compatible cell phone, you can download an eSIM card so that you can easily switch your cell phone plan in as little as 15 minutes. You can start saving a lot of money instantly. And don't worry, if you do not have a compatible cell phone, they will mail you a SIM card and it'll get there in a day or two. So you can start saving and stop spending a fortune on your cell phone plan pretty quickly. So Mint Mobile is offering $15 for 3-month plans, but it's ending in a couple weeks. So you need to click the link in the video description below and sign up today for $15 a month unlimited cell phone plans for 3 months. It's an amazing offer, an amazing deal. So stop spending money on expensive cell phone plans that you don't need. Number 4, stop buying expensive leveling things, apparatus. Stop buying all those. I mean, I've seen electrical levels and laser levels. You don't need all that. All you need are these. That's it. Like 98 cents for 2 or something like that. And here's a tip. Hang them inside your RV where you can see them from your driver's seat instead of outside, especially if you're solo. I thought everybody did that, you know, and then I did a video about it recently about pulling in, and people were amazed that I had my levels. And I put them, I guess I shouldn't have taken it for granted because I put them there myself, but I have one up in the front for this way, and then I've got one up in the back here for this way, so I can easily see from my driver's seat how level I am. So do not buy expensive levels, 98 cents for 2 of them, and hang them inside your RV. Number 5, do not buy these. Why, you might ask? Take it from experience. This may not be enough. I was in a situation, I remember in Indiana or something a couple years ago, Kentucky, and I had this old school style of leveler, and that 4, 5, 6 inches, it wasn't enough. So do yourself a favor, don't waste your money on these, and instead buy these. Buy the stackable kind. Then you can stack them as high as you need to go. You have a lot more control and a lot more flexibility. You can go as high as you need to go. I mean, I've had to go pretty high on these things. So do yourself a favor and don't buy the ones that you can't make go higher, and buy the stackable ones instead. Got it? Number 6, glass kitchenware. don't buy glass kitchenware. I hit the road with a couple things left over. And you know what? If you have things left over from your regular life and you want to bring them, go ahead, but just know that they're going to break. I have like one plate, one saucer, one plate, and one bowl left from what I originally brought with me that was glass. I did get some Corelware. I think last year my mother gave it to me. That's supposed to not break, but I heard it does. But I recently switched over to some, well, a couple years ago, I bought some wooden bowls, but those broke. And so recently I bought these, and they are made out of wheat. No BPAs, no plastic, no chemicals. They're made out of wheat, and they're lightweight, they're easy to wash, and I really like them. So just look for any alternative. I'm going to put these, of course, in the link below if you want to check them out. They're really cute. I love the colors. I love that they're not plastic. They feel like plastic. It's kind of weird, kind of like blows my mind a little bit. But yeah, don't do the glass stuff unless if you are going to bring glass stuff with you, like I said, just know that it's going to get broken. Number 7, do not buy battery operated lights. So anybody who lives in an RV knows these overhead lights suck. No matter, you can get the bright white bulbs, and they look like fluorescent, and everybody's like, oh, get the soft yellow. They still suck. The overhead lights suck. No matter, I tried painting my covers, that didn't work, to mellow out the cover, and that none of it works. So instead, what I have done is I have bought a bunch of I guess they're LED USB rechargeable lights. Yeah, I have the string lights around my RV that take batteries, but I really don't they go through batteries a lot, and I really don't like using all the batteries. So I'm a fan of all the rechargeables. So I have a rechargeable, but I also have one that you just have to plug in by USB. It has to be plugged in to work, but I really like that too. So rechargeable lights are your friend. I even like them better than Lucy lights. I know everybody is a big fan of Lucy lights, but they're expensive and they don't last. I don't know if it's just me, but they're like 18, 19 bucks a piece. They don't last. Number 8. Don't buy expensive camping clubs. I don't want to mention it. I'll go ahead and mention it. I bought Passport America a couple years ago when I was coming east because I thought it would help me because I knew I would have to be spending time in campgrounds. Well, they're not my type of campgrounds. They're RV resorts, RV parks, and frankly, even when I did try to use the service, and I paid for it. So even when I did try to use the service to find a place to camp, there were restrictions on days, restrictions on, you can't go on the weekend, you can't get the discount on the weekend, you can't get the discount on the holidays. You're relegated to certain parts of the RV park, and like I said, and they're like more like the RV resorts, nothing I would be interested in staying at. So I can't remember what the annual fee for that was, but I never used it. Never used it. I tried to use it a couple times, but too many rules. Here's what I recommend instead. Join Harvest Hosts. Harvest Hosts is a really cool service. They have joined forces with Boondockers Welcome. So there are really cool stays on private property, which I've done. I stayed at an alpaca farm a couple years ago outside of Denver. That was really cool. You get really unique stays. They're gonna be more private, more personal. You're gonna stay with a homeowner, or you're gonna stay with a small business like a winery or an orchard or a farm. So if you're not into the crowded RV park thing and you want more unique experiences, Harvest Host is definitely a better option than a discount camping club. Yeah, that wasn't for me. And I'm going to put a link to Harvest Host in the video description below as well for you. So check that out. And the 9th thing that newbies, in my humble opinion, should not waste their money on is a Berkey. I know everybody loves their Berkey. I know I'm weird. I'm the only one who's like, I don't have a Berkey. They're expensive. And also, don't waste your money on bottled water. I ran across something just the other day that said, never drink water out of your tank. I've been drinking water out of my tanks in 2 RVs now for more than 7 years, and I'm still alive to talk about it. So it's simple. All you have to do is sanitize your tank, and it's not that difficult to do. Again, 2 RVs used, so who knows what was going on before. I sanitized the tanks, and I've never had a problem. I do double filter my water, though. I have a built-in filter underneath my sink that came with the RV, and then I use Brita filters. I don't really know if they filter anything, but stop wasting money on the Berkeys. I don't get the whole Berkey thing. Number one, it's super expensive, and number two, they're big and they take up all this space on your counter. It's not like we have a ton of counter space. So don't do yourself a favor. Don't waste your money on bottled water. Don't waste your money on a Berkey. Just sanitize your tank. It's super easy. A few drops of bleach, fill up the tank, run it through all your faucets, fill it up and run it through again. Actually, some people say you don't even have to run it through a second time, but I'm not. Yeah, I run it through twice. That's it. A few drops, or not a few drops. I think it's like a 1/4 cup. Don't quote me on it. 1/4 cup per 10 gallons or something like that. Don't quote me. I'll put a link below because I don't think I've ever done a video on sanitizing your tank. So I'll put a link below of a video on how to sanitize your tank. But drink your water in your tank. That's what it's there for. It's a freshwater tank. So yeah, I don't know. I think all the other stuff's a waste of money, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, before we get to number 10, just a reminder to subscribe to my channel. If you have enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up or leave a comment below. Yes, I enjoyed the video. Or leave a comment with something that you bought when you were a newbie that was a total waste of money. Why don't you do that? Leave that comment below as well. All right, and number 10 is basically just miscellaneous fun accessories. You know, we all tend to go shopping. We're gonna go in the store. We're gonna fill up our shopping cart with cutting boards and gadgets and this and that because they look fun and, oh, I think I might be needing this. You know, oftentimes that stuff is a waste of money. I have been suggesting since I've been making videos to try to keep your RV life buying to a minimum and wait until you're actually living in the RV. It's true with anything, backpacking, camping, RV living in a van. It's best to wait until you're doing it to figure out what you're gonna need. I know that's not as much fun. You know, you can buy a couple things that you were gonna use, but for the most part, I think we all end up buying things that we don't need. It just creates clutter. It creates waste in the landfills. So just live in your RV. Figure it out as you go. You're never gonna be too far from a Walmart or a Camping World. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let me know below if it was helpful, if you liked it. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And happy trails, happy travels, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. I'll see you soon.